Bob Linden at GoVeganRadio.com, on Twitter at GoVeganRadio, Facebook, Go Vegan Radio with Bob Linden. We still have the World Vegan Summit and Expo website, Facebook pages, and I guess I should start looking at them and seeing the comments and how people like the World Vegan Summit and Expo. I've just had to have a little nap between then and now, and well, maybe we can find out how it went from Sofia Pineda Ochoa, who was a guest there, medical doctor who came all the way from Texas to deliver a talk in Espanol. And how are you today, Sofia?
I'm good, Bob. Good talking to you. How are you?
Doing fine. I've recuperated from last week's event. How was it? How was it for you? How did you like the World Vegan Summit and Expo?
I very much enjoyed it, Bob. Thank you so much for organizing it. It was really well put together. It was very informative. You got a bunch of scholars to go there. You had Sherry Kolb and all of the other attorneys. You had Dr. Clapper and all of the activists. It was really a really nicely well put, very informative summit.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, I mean, I was amazed by the speakers there. So, yeah, and the activity for everything just was amazing. I found so.
Everything was very inspiring. It really was. It's really nice to see a lot of people getting together for the same cause.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. So, how did you get involved or interested in? Well, I mean, your talk in Espanol covered really all issues from compassion for animals and environment and health. How did you first become interested in these issues?
Well, I first got interested. Well, I have a medical background because I am a physician, and I got interested first in these issues. Bob, I know that you don't like some of the things that PETA does, and you don't agree, you don't see eye to eye on everything they do, and nor do I. But I started looking into these issues when I once saw on my Facebook feed somebody post a video about Meet Your Meat from PETA, and I saw it was I think it was like a 5 or 10 minute video.
Sure.
Just about the slaughter and the animals, how they produce. Hold on. I didn't bounce here. It's threatening to make noise, sorry. And so I have a biochemical background as well because I'm a former professor of biochemistry. And I thought I need to go vegetarian. I think it's going to harm my health, but I just cannot participate in this slaughter. I cannot contribute to this horrible business. But it's probably going to help. It's probably going to hurt my health. But maybe karma will help me in some form. Abstaining from doing that. And so, I went vegetarian, but I started doing more research on nutrition. I have my medical degree, and I did a degree on nutrition as well, and on plant-based nutrition. And the rest is history, Then I became vegan to that, and I became a lot more educated on that. And I became, very passionate about this. I think I told you, I don't know if I told you or not. I don't remember. Sorry, we have a growling doctor. I'm sorry, Bob. I went to a slaughterhouse to film, and the things that I saw were, we all see movies, we all hear things, we see the PETA videos, we see all of the footage, but when you see it in person, like all of the suffering that the animals go through, when you see it with your own eyes, I just decided I need to devote my free time. I need to devote all of the resources that I can and my skills to educate people on this matter. Because this is just a holocaust. This is something that, it's just like hell on earth for animals. I saw mainly cows and pigs getting slaughtered. And you have no idea. I mean, have you ever been to a slaughterhouse, Bob?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've seen videos, like you said, and I saw Meet Your Meat years ago, which was very painful for me. But I don't know. I don't know if I could handle it. I mean, I think I'd want to run and save every animal who's hanging by a leg, moving down the line. I mean,
it is so cold. I mean, I was shaking after that. I was shaking. I was even crying. It was really, really difficult, and I was not there undercover. Actually, I was not invited, but they gave me permission to go there. It's a long story how that happened, but just watching it from up close, Bob, I went to the holding areas first, and I saw the cows, and I noticed that they were so afraid, even when they were in the holding areas, when they were not, right in the place where all the blood is, and when all of the slaughtering takes place. Even they sense something is wrong, and you could see even as they heard humans walk by, they would all trip upon themselves, backing off, because they were just so afraid. And once, in this slaughter thing, I think everybody has this concept that they have a painless and quick day, that it's just one day, and it's something quick and painless, and they make their last phone call. And then they go to sleep peacefully, and then you get to meet. But actually, it's more like a horror house. What I saw, and it was something that I did not know, and I have not grasped it looking at the footage that I have seen before, is that most of the animals that I saw, they were not unconscious when they were being slaughtered. First of all, it was very difficult to hit them strategically, to lesion them strategically for the employees, because they're so nervous and afraid and fighting for their life. So they're moving their heads, they're very nervous, and even when they did, Bob, even when they have the captive bolt in their head, speaking of the cows, that did not render them unconscious. They would be having moving difficulties, and they couldn't run or move, but once they fell to the ground, and the employees hooked up their back legs to the machine, they were still completely awake and alive and watching everything and kicking with the other three legs. And then I'm sure you've seen from the footage the way that many slaughterhouses doing it. They hang them from their back leg, and then they skin them. This is why they cut their legs from the knee down. I mean, it's just, and they fall to the floor in front of the cow. Then they cut their neck, and the cow is basically struggling to breathe with the with her own blood rushing into her face, and then between that and the bleeding out, she finally passes away. But it's just something that I thought I need to educate people on this matter. And as I got into the health aspect of it, Bob, that's why I also decided to found, as I mentioned to you earlier, this educational nonprofit. It's called Meet Your Future, to educate people on the health impact of eating animals, the environmental impact, and obviously the impact, the ethical impact of, the damage that happens to the animals themselves. Because I think that if people, they're not going to go vegan because I just tell them to go vegan. But if people educate themselves on the significant health impact that eating animal protein has on their health, it raises their cholesterol levels, it causes cardiovascular disease, which is our number one killer today, and which we really don't have a cure. We physicians, we treat it kind of palliatively. We put stents, we do cardiac bypass surgery, but that really doesn't cure the disease in the vessel itself. So for our main killer in the United States, cardiovascular disease, which causes heart attacks and strokes, we're can you believe it, that we're treating it just palliatively? We're not treating it effectively. And a vegan diet, a vegan multi-plant-based diet is the most efficient way to reverse that process. As you mentioned in the summit, and I know that you're familiar, and you probably saw the video that I sent you where we compiled information with the animal protein and the cancer. Animal protein also favors increasing levels of a hormone called IGF-1, which is the short for insulin-like growth factor 1, which favors cell reproduction, including the cancer cells. So elevated levels of that hormone, which happens when we get our protein from animals, is associated with a significant increase for cancer and for more malignant forms of it. If we do get cancer, it comes in a more aggressive and a more malignant form. Animal protein also associated with bone problems because it has more sulfur-containing amino acids, so it causes more acidosis loss, and our body leaches calcium from our bones to compensate this acidosis. So we know in cultures and in people who consume the most animal protein, they have the most hip fractures and a bunch of other kinds of fractures. So it's bad for your bones, it's bad for your heart, it's bad for cancer risk. If you eat fish, because people think that fish is a healthy food item, but it's not, and it's unregulated, it's unsafe, it's full of mercury. Mercury, it's a metal that we really can't excrete very easily, and it can even cross the placenta and hurt an unborn baby before, just before it's born a fetus, just because the mother was eating fish. So it's really a very significant health problem that if people got educated on how it affects their health, I think that people themselves would all revert to a vegan diet. Mm-hmm. The environmental stuff as well. It's kind of the environmental stuff, but it's kind of a survival issue that we have to do as a society, just in order to. I'm sorry, Bob. Do you have
to survive? To survive.
Yeah.
We need to take a quick break. We're talking to Sofia Pineda Ochoa, MD. Is there a website where people can find you, and then we'll continue our discussion after the break?
Yeah, that is all. So the website is meetyourfuture.com, and meet is spelled MEAT.
Meetyourfuture.com. We'll continue our discussion with Sofia after the break. It's Go Vegan Radio with Bob Linden at goveganradio.com. On Twitter at Go Vegan Radio, we are celebrating the birthday of Cesar Chavez. He was born March 31st, 1927, so this coming Tuesday would be his birthday. I have a flyer available. You can email me, Bob at goveganradio.com. It's en Espanol, thanks to Sofia Pineda Ochoa, who translated for me. I thought we might take a moment here and listen to Cesar Chavez in his own words regarding animal issues and veganism.
Oh, okay.
We need in a special way to work twice as hard to make all people understand that animals are fellow creatures, that we must protect them and love them as we love ourselves. And that the basis for peace is respecting all creatures. That's the basis for peace. And that we cannot hope to have peace until we respect everyone, respect ourselves, and respect animals and all living things. And that's the basis, we think, the beginning of peace. We cannot defend and be kind to animals until we stop exploiting them in the name of science, exploiting animals in the name of sport, exploiting animals in the name of fashion, and yes, exploiting animals in the name of...
I go to celebrations of his life, and people don't know that if he were there, there'd be nothing for him to eat. So, Sofia, thank you for translating. And do you find people are surprised when they find out Cesar Chavez was vegan?
Yeah, I think even when you mentioned it at the World Vegan Summit, everybody was looking around like, what's he talking about? What's vegan? Cesar Chavez is vegan, what? But, I saw the look of surprise on their faces. So, yeah, I think they do. And I was listening to what you just played of what Cesar Chavez said, and I can't agree with him more when he says that we're not going to have peace and we're not going to have like a real prosperous culture until we start respecting animals. And it starts by where we left off about talking about the environmental issues, and we said that it's a matter of pretty much of survival as a species. You know, when we started walking upon this earth about 150,000 years ago, to this day, it took us about 150,000 years for humanity to reach 1 billion people, a population of 1 billion people in this planet Earth. And we reached this date, we reached that population in the early 1800s. Early 1800s, we were 1 billion humans on Earth. And now, 2015, almost 200 years later, a little more than 200 years later, we are over 7 billion humans on this Earth. So basically, we're increasing our population exponentially, and feeding humans with animal products is a very, very inefficient way of doing so. Because all of the calories that we spend growing the animals, fattening them, once we process the animal, when they kill the animal to eat them, they just obtain a small fraction of all of the calories invested. Mm-hmm. So right now in the world, there's already millions of people who are dying of hunger, dying with water problems. Can you imagine, Bob, like the projection of the population is that we're going to be at around 2050, we're going to be close to 10 billion people, and over 12 billion people by the end of the century.
And they cannot be meat, dairy, fish, and egg eaters, or, you know, where's our second and third planet to supply resources needed? You know, it's crazy with the drought in California, drought in Texas. Sofia, we're out of time. I'd like to have you back on the program sometime in the future. It was great seeing you at the World Vegan Summit and Expo. Once again, it's Meet Your Future, MEAT, yourfuture.com, right?
Exactly. Yes, thank you so much for having me, Bob.
Okay, thank you. Sofia Pineda Ochoa, MD. And you can write me for the Cesar Chavez flyer in Spanish, thanks to Sofia. Thanks, Sofia.